Good morning. I'm Ben Wickler. I'm honored to be the chair of the Democratic Party of Wisconsin. I want to start today by thanking the people of Wisconsin and all of our incredible staff and our amazing volunteers and our partners and allies, including in the labor movement, who made this extraordinary victory possible. Thank you. Folks poured their hearts and souls into this work. People knocked on millions of doors in Wisconsin on nights and weekends, after work, and then all the way through Election Day, taking vacation time. People made millions of phone calls. People texted and reached out to their friends and family and everyone they could find to turn out voters. They dedicated so much because they believed in a brighter future. This is democracy in action. And in Wisconsin, the essential battleground state, the land of the nail-biter, this is how we win elections, by doing the work. And to see what that looks like, look no further than Senator re-elect Tammy Baldwin. Senator Baldwin has the record of showing up in every community, listening to people, tuning in, and then not just hearing them, but delivering for them. Yeah. In every community in Wisconsin, there's no place too small or too big. There's no person that she overlooks. And in the face of Republicans spending more than $100 million in one of the darkest, most divisive, most brutal campaigns in the history of Wisconsin politics, Wisconsinites saw through it all. They saw who Senator Baldwin is. They made clear that they want a senator who will fight for them, who will fight for their fundamental rights and freedoms, who will fight to protect Wisconsin jobs and manufacturing, who will fight corporate special interests, no matter how much money they throw at her, to lower costs for working folks. They wanted a senator who fights for them, and they have one in Senator Tammy Baldwin. It is my honor, as someone who became a Tammy Baldwin fan when I was in high school, to share today that we're sending Wisconsin's favorite senator back to Washington, D.C. for 6 more years. "2024 marks a continuation of Tammy Baldwin's record of undefeated elections in Wisconsin politics. We have no greater champion in the United States Senate. Let's give a giant round of applause for Senator Tammy Baldwin."
Thank you, Ben, and hello, everybody. Good morning. From the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you to the people of Wisconsin for putting their trust in me to continue to be their fighter in Washington, D.C. The way we won this race is the way I've always approached this job, and that is we did everything, everywhere, all at once. I travel to red, blue, purple, rural, suburban, urban parts of our state. I listen to people. I really listen to people, and then deliver for them. And in turn, these Wisconsinites showed up for me, and I'm so grateful. You know, it's the farmers and the dairy industry who I've fought alongside, earning the endorsement of the Wisconsin Farm Bureau. Yeah. It's the workers on foundry floors who are getting more business because of my Buy America rules. And a big shout out to labor. It's the LGBTQ families who saw through the nasty attack campaigns and knew that I had their backs to live their lives free of hate or discrimination. And it's the women who've had our rights stripped away and saw me on the front lines fighting for their freedoms. And while I am overjoyed at this victory, I have to acknowledge the results of the presidential race. While we worked our hearts out to elect Kamala Harris, I recognize that the people of Wisconsin chose Donald Trump, and I respect their choice. You know that I will always fight for Wisconsin, and that means working with President Trump to do that and standing up to him when he doesn't have our best interest at heart. For those of you who know me, you know getting things done for the people, making life a little better for people is why I got into public service. I saw at a young age that the deck was too often stacked against working people. When I was 9 years old, I became sick. I was hospitalized for 3 months. And while I recovered, I was forever branded as a child with pre-existing condition. And insurance companies refused to cover me. So I spent my childhood without insurance. And I know that this is something that millions across America remember all too well. But you sent me to Congress, and we beat the healthcare giants and the big pharmaceutical companies. And now, yes, people with pre-existing health conditions are protected. Young people can stay on their parents' health insurance until they're 26 years old due to a provision that I wrote. And drug prices are finally coming down. You know, we deserve a politics with less vitriol, less division, less hatred, and fewer lies. Actually, no lies. Because it's time that we come together and tackle the problems that are actually facing working people and communities across our state. It's time that we put the politics of division behind us. It's time we lower costs for working families, deliver more affordable health care, continue to fight for a made-in-Wisconsin economy, and redouble our efforts to pass my Women's Health Protection Act. So every woman has the same rights and freedoms regardless of their state, their county, or their zip code. Yep. It's time we follow our state motto and continue our march forward. I want to end by thanking everybody who made this victory possible. I have an amazing and talented campaign team, from finance to field, communications to compliance, and so much more. And they have worked their hearts out. They have. And they are led by my campaign manager, Scott Spector, who is both politically brilliant and brings out the best in the whole team. I also have a wonderful team in my U.S. Senate office who work diligently serving the people of this state. Thank you to Ken Reedy in D.C. and Sarah Anstedt here in Wisconsin for your leadership of our team. And thank you to all the diligent public servants that I have in my office. I'm blessed. And our state has the most dedicated set of volunteers anywhere in the country, in no small part because of the leadership of Ben Wickler, our state party chair. We could not have done this without the tens of thousands of Wisconsinites who knocked on doors, made the phone calls to win this race. Also, I want to give a special shout out to my Aunt Sarah, who came all the way from Seattle to knock doors in Milwaukee, the city where she grew up. And thank you to Maria for being my #1 supporter. And to the people of Wisconsin, thank you for putting your trust in me as your United States Senator. Let's get to work.